Hello all, I am Rama Joshi from Jnana Prabodhini Prashala and today we are going to be talking about motion. So first of all, what is motion? Well, motion is defined as the change in position of an object with respect to time, observer and reference point. That is, if an object moves from one point to another in some time, it is in motion. For example, a moving car, the hands of a clock, the earth around the sun, etc. Now, what is this with respect to stuff? Well, let us take the example of a moving train. A passenger on board will feel like the trees outside are moving backwards, but to a person outside the train, the trees are at rest. So, the observer matters when determining the motion of an object. Now, if we take one of the trees outside as a starting or reference point, the train passing by will be in motion. But if we take one of the seats inside the train as a starting or reference point, the train as a whole is at rest. Therefore, the reference points matter when determining the motion of an object as well. As for time, let us take an example of a wooden block. If I place a wooden block in a room where no external factors like wind, life, etc., will affect it and leave it there for, say, 10 years, when I return, its position will not have changed, but it will have moved through time. Got it? Okay. Because of all these factors, since motion is affected by time, observer, and reference point, we say that it is relative or subjective. Now let us learn about some types of motion. The first type is linear and non-linear motion. So basically, motion in a straight line is called linear motion. For example, a ball dropped from a height, a car moving along a straight road, etc. Motion which is not in a straight line is called non-linear motion. For example, the motion of a butterfly or a ball thrown from a height, etc. So when an object travels along a straight path, it is said to be in rectilinear motion. For example, a marble rolling down a slope, etc. When an object travels along a curved path, it is said to be in curvilinear motion. For example, a car taking a turn, etc. Rotary or rotational motion is that in which a body moves about a fixed axis without changing its position. For example, the earth about its own axis, etc., or a moving fan. Circular or circulatory motion is that in which a body moves about a fixed point in a circular manner. For example, a satellite moving around the earth, etc. Remember that in rotary motion, the object as a whole does not change its position, but in circular motion, the object does change its position. Like in the example of a fan, the fan itself does not move around the room. But in the example of a satellite, the satellite changes its positions as it moves around the earth. That is the difference between rotational and circulatory motion. The next types are oscillatory and vibratory motion. The to and fro motion of an object about its position of rest is called oscillatory motion. For example, the motion of a child on a moving swing or the motion of a pendulum. Vibratory motion is basically oscillatory motion in very high frequency or very fast. Vibratory motion is bound on either side. That is, if we take the example of a sitar string, when it is plucked, it is in vibratory motion and it is bound on either side of the sitar. But in the case of a pendulum, it is not bound on both sides. That is the difference between oscillatory motion and vibratory motion. Now let us learn some more about the parts of a pendulum. The support is the part where it is attached to a rod or its support basically. The length or arm is this. It can be a thread or a rod. The bob or weight is the actual weight attached to the thread or rod. and the mean or equilibrium position is the position, its original position when it was at rest. The amplitude is also called the Bob's trajectory. It is the maximum distance covered by the Bob in one oscillation. Time period is the time needed by the Bob by the pendulum for one oscillation, and frequency is how frequently each oscillation occurs, or after what time period each oscillation occurs. It is calculated by 1 upon time period. The next type of motion is compound motion. Compound motion occurs when two or more types of motion occur together. For example, a screw being screwed in, etc. So in this case, we are turning the screw around, but we are also pushing it inside the wall, a wall or whatever we are pushing it inside. So it has a rotational motion around this axis drawn through its middle. But it also has translatory motion as it moves into the wall. The next example is the Earth. So it is rotating around its own axis, drawn at 23.5 degrees, but it is also moving around the sun. So it has rotational as well as circulatory motion. The wheels of a moving vehicle are moving around their own axis drawn through their middle, but they are also moving forward. So they are in translatory and rotational motion. Now let us learn about some terms related to motion. Distance is the length of the path covered by an object, and displacement is the shortest distance between the start and end points of the path the object has covered. It is denoted by S or X, and displacement is also called distance with a direction. So in this picture, we can see that the man has traveled a distance this long, but his actual displacement is only this much. So his distance is greater than his displacement. Now I hope you understand the difference between distance and displacement. Distance is always greater than or equal to displacement. The next set of terms is speed versus velocity. Speed is the rate of change of distance in unit time. It is calculated by distance upon time, and its unit is meter per second. Velocity is speed with a direction. It is calculated by displacement upon time, and we just discussed that displacement is distance with a direction. That is why velocity is speed with a direction. It is also denoted by meter per second. Now there are two ways to denote the direction while writing the velocity. You can either write the actual direction, that is east, west, north, south, etc. Or you can denote it by adding a plus or minus sign. So you can decide which direction you want to be positive and the other will be negative. So in this case, both the cars are going in opposite directions, but the speed is the same in both cases because speed has nothing to do with direction. But velocity does, and so if we take this direction to be negative, the velocity of this car is minus 25 meter per second, and the velocity of this car is plus 25 meter per second. You can decide which direction you want to be negative and positive. Lastly, acceleration. So acceleration is the rate of change of velocity in unit time. It is calculated by delta v upon t, or v minus u upon t, where v is the final velocity and u is the initial velocity upon time. So there are, since acceleration is the rate of change of velocity, there are only three ways you can accelerate. You can either change your speed or you can change your direction. if you are changing your speed, you can either speed up or slow down, or you can change your direction. So there are only three ways to accelerate. Thank you. If you like this video, please show your support by liking and subscribing.